Hey everybody, my name's Spencer Stanley. In today's video, I'm gonna be talking about my favorite Sony lens, and that is the 35mm 1.8. And it's not the G Master, it's not the 1.4. I'm gonna be talking about why that is, but first I'm gonna show you some clips that I've gotten with this lens over the last half a year or so that I've owned it. Where is it? Where is the fucking... I know, like daylight.
We got the top down, cruising at 65. The engines.
Yeah, there's a couple different reasons why I really love this lens, and it's probably my most used lens when I'm doing commercial videography, when I'm doing portraiture, when I'm doing anything with my camera. This is my go-to lens if I want to get a really good picture. One of my other lenses that I use a lot is the Tamron 17-28, and that's what I'm using right now. It's good for like gimbal shots, for wide shots. Now I love that lens, but this is the lens that I'm going to most of the time when I'm trying to get really cinematic shots because it has that low aperture, it has that really sharp image, and I love the 35mm focal length. Now I'm gonna get this out of the way at the beginning. Yes, there is a brand new G Master. Yes, I did purchase this before the G Master was released. I still probably would have went towards this, not just because of the price, but what it offers really. And I don't need a G Master lens that goes to f1.4. I primarily shoot video. I shoot a lot of photos as well, but I don't need a super blurry background when I'm shooting video. Like the amount of times that I use f1.8 on this is pretty rare. I'm usually going from like f2 to f4. I do like a really shallow depth of field and to use that lower aperture, but it's just not something that I think I need to spend that extra money just to get f1.4. Now, there's a couple things on this lens that are actually better than the G Master, and I'm gonna talk about those. So like I said, I covered this already, but it has an amazing image. The image that you get out of this, the optics of the lens is really good. There's not much distortion, there's no chromatic aberration, or not that much that I can see. It's a really solid lens, and out of all the 35s, other than the G Master, this is the easy choice to pick. It's also a lot more affordable than the G Master. Here in Canada, I think I paid around $850. The price might have gone down since the G Master's release, but in comparison to the G Master, it just is more affordable, so it just makes more sense to me. There's a bunch of things that are better in this than the Sigma lens. Sigma has a 35mm 1.4. This is better autofocus, this is better focus pulling. This is just a little bit of a better package. It's also smaller than the Sigma lens. The Sigma lens is built really well, but it is a bit of an older lens and an older design, and it has that adapter to put it on the Sony on the back of it that's built in, so it just extends that barrel length. So yeah, I just think for the value, the price of this, $850, I don't see how you can't have this in your kit. Some people like a little bit of a wider focal length. They like that 24 instead of the 35. I fall into the 35mm camp, fanboy camp. It's my favorite lens by far. But I see why you might like a 24mm. There was something always weird to me about 24mm when I had a 24-70. I didn't like shooting at 24. Like, it wasn't wide enough and it wasn't tight enough. It was just this weird in between. Now, a lot of people will probably disagree with me because a lot of people love their 24mm, especially the new G Master 24mm that was just released. But if I'm shooting wide, I'm gonna be shooting at 17 or 16mm. I just think that looks better, and I really like that. I might look into some wider primes in the future, but for right now, this is a really good length. Like I said, the G Master has a shallower depth of field with that 1.4, but unless you're really concerned about that for photography, for video production, I think 1.8 is a bit of a better lens because of all the value and stuff. But there's another factor in there other than the aperture that sets this apart from the G Master 1.4, and that is the focus ring. It's actually a lot smoother. I'm not gonna get all nerdy with why it's better. It's great if you use manual focus because you could really, like, I love this for manual focusing, and I use manual focus. Like if I need to manually focus on certain things and I'm not using autofocus, like on a gimbal or something, I know I'm gonna get hate for even using autofocus. The focus ring is so good, and there's no breathing. There's a lot more focus breathing in the G Master lens, so that's something to think about when you're purchasing your lens. So compact, it is really easy to carry around, and it makes the whole kit a lot smaller, which I like. And my hand's really close under the lens, so if I'm running gunning with this, I could just use it to manually focus, which I really like when I'm shooting video. This also has the closest focus distance than any of the other 35s on the market for Sony, so it's better than the Sigma, and it's better than the G Master. Not by a whole lot, but you can get a lot closer to your subject with this lens and have them in focus, which I really like. I like getting really close with this lens. It's great for like environmental portraitures. And when I say that, I mean like environmental portraiture compositions in video. So when you have a subject and kind of a wide background shot of them. But I also use this for close-ups. Like I honestly use this as like a 50mm a lot. I just get a lot closer to my subjects, and it gives it a really cool perspective because it's a little bit wider, but you get that depth of field with the 1.8, which is just one of the reasons why I love this lens. At the end of the day, I just think the value for money and the benefits of this lens for video shooting outweigh some of the benefits that you might get for the G Master and some of the benefits that you might get from the Sigma lens. So if you're looking for a 35mm, or you're looking for your first prime, or just maybe even your first lens for your full frame Sony camera, I think this would be a great option. Now, for a first lens, it might make sense to get a zoom, or like get the cheap nifty 50. That's super cheap and just, it gets you kind of introduced into the world of primes. But I really like this lens. I think I'm gonna purchase the 1.8 85mm soon and kind of see what that's like. When I think about lenses, I think about what I'm gonna use the most and what's most versatile. I use the lens that's on this camera absolutely the most, the Tamron 17-28, and this one absolutely the most. I don't know why I said absolutely the most for the Tamron, because I use these pretty interchangeably, but lately I've been making a lot of YouTube videos and I like that wide look when I'm filming like this. When I'm holding the camera, I like this lens on, and it's a beautiful lens. I really, really recommend it if you're looking at something like this. My mantra is to like not overspend and not just buy a ton of lenses, because at the end of the day, you only need a few focal lengths to get what you're doing done. And I really believe in minimalism when it comes to camera equipment, and specifically lenses, and just trying to get the most out of what you have. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below and I will reply to all of them. I make sure to do that. Like the video if you enjoyed it. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe for more because I'm gonna be putting out more content. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.